I wasn't supposed to get home until late Sunday, but I found myself stepping to the front door on Friday evening. The sky still held faint traces of twilight. I hadn't planned any grand entrance, just a quiet surprise for my daughter, Emma. But the moment I walked inside, something felt off. There was no sound of her favorite TV shows playing, no noise from the kitchen, only a quiet scraping noise coming from the floor. I followed the sound and found her, my 8-year-old, crouched on the cold kitchen tiles, her small hands red and raw, tears silently running down her cheeks as she scrubbed the floor. It was as if she thought she could erase some terrible mistake with a brush. I kept my voice soft, trying not to startle her, and asked what she was doing. She looked up at me with a mixture of fear and shame. "Mom said I disgraced her," she whispered. "I spilled milk on Sophie's shirt, so I have to clean it." Sophie wasn't just some friend or classmate. She was my wife's niece, the child Claire's family always treated as their real granddaughter. Whenever they thought I wasn't paying attention, on the kitchen counter, a crumpled ticket stub from a theme park lay abandoned, a silent clue they hadn't expected me home early. No note, no babysitter, just Emma, alone, scrubbing floors that earned forgiveness she should never have had to seek. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't break down either. I simply told her to wash her hands and promised we'd go out for her favorite burgers and watch the pirate movie she loved. But inside, something shattered and hardened at the same time. I used to believe love was enough, that being the protector, the provider, the steady presence meant something. I was wrong. Claire was charming, sharp, graceful, magnetic, the kind of woman who turned heads wherever she went. I thought she loved me for who I was. But it wasn't me she loved. She wanted stability, control, a perfect image to show the world. Emma was adopted, Claire's cousin's child, brought into our family when her own mother struggled during pregnancy. I had been Emma's father since her first breath, the only one she ever truly knew. But to Claire's family, bloodline was everything. Love and loyalty meant little compared to shared DNA. The signs were everywhere. Snide remarks from Claire's sister, subtle digs from her mother about how Emma didn't look like one of them. They whispered that as if it justified their coldness. But seeing my daughter scrubbing the floor that night, knees scraped from a child's mistake, while they rode roller coasters with their real granddaughter, made everything painfully clear. That night, I tucked Emma into bed, brushed damp hair from her forehead, and sang her favorite lullaby until she drifted off to sleep. Then I poured a glass of bourbon and stared out at the empty driveway, the silence sharp and full of painful clarity. By midnight, I had made a decision. I started gathering proof. Photos of the kitchen floor, the ticket stub, Emma's raw hands, untouched burgers growing cold. I saved every voicemail from Claire, where her tone sounded less like a mother and more like a PR agent. I met with Emma's school counselor to discuss neglect and favoritism. A month later, I hired a family lawyer, discreet, sharp, worth every penny. I updated my will, securing Emma's college fund in a trust Claire couldn't touch. I organized bank accounts and important documents. Then I waited. The opportunity came sooner than expected. The theme park outings became routine family events, but Emma was left out again. I told her we were visiting my sister's house for the weekend. We packed light, grabbed essential papers, and drove 3 hours to the lawyer's cabin by the river. Emma laughed as she skipped stones, her smile genuine and free for the first time in months. I recorded it all, the sound of her laughter, her bright eyes, proof of her healing. When we got back, I handed Claire divorce papers, demanding sole custody. I gave her a thick binder full of evidence. She stiffened, clutching the papers like they might burn her. "You left our daughter alone," I said steadily. "You made her feel like a burden. That's not motherhood, that's failure." She sneered, swore she'd fight back, claiming no judge would side with me. I told her to open the envelope addressed to Child Protective Services. Inside were photos, voicemails, council reports. I hadn't sent it yet, but it was ready. In court, Claire's family crumbled her defense. Her sister admitted they purposely left Emma out of outings. Her mother stumbled, muttering, "She's not really one of us." Tears didn't help Claire. The judge awarded me sole custody. Claire got supervised visits, 2 hours twice a month. Emma refused to go after the first visit, and her therapist supported her choice. But I wasn't finished. That ticket stub on the counter. I sent it, along with a framed photo of Emma scrubbing the floor, to Claire's boss at her marketing firm. A week later, Claire lost her job. Family First branding doesn't survive when the truth comes out. A child left to scrub floors raw from neglect. For the final touch, I mailed holiday cards to Claire's family, each with a photo of Emma smiling, holding her new kitten and a caption, "Love isn't about blood, it's about devotion." The next day, my phone blew up with calls. Claire's mother, her sister, Claire herself, angry about betrayal lies and turning Emma against them. I didn't answer. I watched Emma play in the yard, her hair wild, her laughter light, her hands finally healed. Retribution isn't always loud. Mine was quiet, backed by papers and truth. It was a mirror forcing them to face who they had become. And it was a promise. You don't abandon a child and still call yourself family. Not while I'm watching.